After our discussion 2 weeks ago, I was really my mind was like grappling with that question. It was like, why are myths so powerful? I was like, why are we even doing the anime philosophers? Like of all things,
Right.
why isn't it just the philosophers? So I was trying to puzzle out what
Right.
is it that makes anime so exciting? What is it that makes me like so obsessed with great anime, like the Ancient Magus Bride, like we're discussing right now? And I stumbled across this philosopher slash, well, he's, by profession, he's a psychology professor, but he truly is a philosopher. Jordan B. Peterson at the University of Toronto. And he basically talks about how our lives are really a drama. There's this thread, this narrative thread that runs through our lives, and that stories, myths, have kind of been passed down through the generations, and they're kind of distilled wisdom from our past ancestors, captured in a beautiful artistic form.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that really struck me. It's a good answer as to why are these things so moving? Why are these things so captivating? It's because they carry power in them. They pack a punch.
Definitely, yeah. Anime is like the modern version of the ancient myths, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Hey guys, welcome back to This Week in Anime episode 4. I'm Alan.
I'm Freedom, and
we are the Anime Philosophers. Alright, as always guys, we enjoy talking about great anime that we watch. We have fun with it. We hope you have fun with it too.
Yeah, we want to take this apart. We want to understand your favorite anime through the lens of our own experience, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the cool stuff in it, and we hope that we leave you with an interesting insight. Maybe a sad one, maybe a happy one, maybe an inspiring one, and perhaps even an actionable one.
Right on, Freedom. So this week we're going to continue with the Ancient Magus Bride, episodes 8 and 9 this week, since we
Hell
skipped
yeah. Double stuffed.
Double stuff this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really missed the show. Like, I'm so glad we're getting started again, because last week I was going through withdrawal.
Yeah, same, man, same. I think the holidays helped a little bit with the withdrawal, but still.
Yeah, I need anime in my life.
Yep. All right, so without any further ado, let's get started with a description of episode 8.
Alrighty, episode 8. The title is "Let Sleeping Dogs Lie." All right, we're back to the good episode titles. All right, here's the summary. Alice sees Elias's changes and decides immediately that he could never be human. Sorcerer Cartaphilius, who is attempting to capture the black dog by manipulating Renford and Alice, causes Elias to show a completely different side of himself when his work hurts Chise. Those who know Elias call him the Pilum Murialis.
Man, I love these names.
Yeah. This is good. I think we're gonna get some insight onto who actually, what actually is Elias. Like what or who or what kind of weird being is he?
Yeah, I can't wait, man. And last time we left it off at when he got really angry.
Yeah, the smoke.
So the smoke coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah, can't wait. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So you just finished watching episode 8.
Yeah. Another great episode as always.
So we have a few more answers now. I think last time we were wondering, does Elias maintain control over his body when he turns into that freak? The answer is yes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Which is good. It looks like he has a hard time speaking. But he seems to retain pretty much like his reason. So that's good.
That's good, yeah. I like the when he was talking to Chise when he was transformed like that. He was like, "Oh, I look really scary, like get away from me, like let me transform back." And Chise was like, yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to fit through the door in that form. So like
Yeah,
of all things that like could have been
yeah,
wrong with that form, it's like that
yeah. That was nicely done.
was nicely done. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like she doesn't care at all.
she doesn't care at all. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess he really he was frightened. He was frightened
yeah,
that she would see that that was his true nature, and that
yeah,
she would be afraid of him.
yeah,
Because you can imagine, dude. Imagine that you know you meet someone and then they
yeah.
reveal their true selves, and
Yeah, and they transform into that thing, and
yeah, yeah, you know, a typical person would be freaked out.
yeah,
That was cool. I think it goes to show you. It tells you a little bit about Chise, uh, her character, right? It
mm,
looks like she doesn't judge people by their appearance.
right,
She's judging people by um, how they treat her.
right, right. Yeah, great character.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I guess we learned a little bit more about that freaky little alchemist guy,
Cartaphilius,
Cartaphilius. He called himself Joseph, though, right?
Joseph. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really like that that little call out to the Bible. The Son of
yeah,
God
yeah,
like cursed him.
yeah.
That's cool.
Cursed
I
to live
like that.
forever.
I like that. They
Yeah,
make a lot of like references to folklore, right?
they
And
do. Yeah,
and religion and stuff like that. Actually, you know, I was looking up. Remember the episode with the fairy queen
right,
and her husband
right.
Oberon?
Yep.
Yeah, that's like the fairy queen. And apparently, Oberon is like actually his name in um, what was it? Some I think some Greek mythology or something.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, there's actually like that's the actual name of the fairy king. And he's supposed to be kind of like this trickster. So it looks like they're making like all these references to these interesting mythological themes.
Yeah, yeah. That adds like that much more flavor to the anime
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I think you can like you could take apart a lot of these scenes, and I'm sure they're making an allusion to something
yeah, yeah,
very cool.
yeah. It's awesome, yeah. Yeah, and you were telling me right before the show about you were reading about the power of myth, right?
Yeah,
Um some you were saying some Toronto psychologist
yeah,
was
yeah.
talking
We
about
had we were talking for
we
a
had like
while. Maybe we
yeah.
should have recorded some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That was like the anime philosophers minus anime, the anime part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, I think last time we discussed, you know, we're talking about the hellhounds and all of these, you know, mythological references, and we were talking about how myth, legends, stories, they set up these interesting narratives where you can explore abstract concepts in a more concrete way, right? I think Alan was talking about how characters can be extreme versions of, you know, a certain archetypes that you see uh, in daily life. So yeah. So anyway, I was like, after our discussion last week, I was really not 2 weeks ago. I was really my mind was like grappling with that question. It was like, why why are myths so powerful? I was like, you know, why are we even doing the anime philosophers? Like of all things,
Right.
you know, why isn't it just you know the philosophers? But the fact is that you know, anime is like a very moving narrative, and it really helps you explore some of these really interesting philosophical ideas. So I was trying to puzzle out
Right.
what is it that makes anime so exciting. What is it that makes me like you know so obsessed with great anime, like the Ancient Magus Bride, like we're discussing right now. And I stumbled across this philosopher slash. Well, he's you know by profession he's a psychology professor, but he truly is a philosopher. Jordan B. Peterson at the University of Toronto, and he's got this great book called Maps of Meaning. And he basically goes, you know, talks about how our lives are really a drama. There's this thread, this narrative thread that runs through our lives, and that stories, myths, are have kind of been passed down through the generations, and they're kind of distilled wisdom from our past ancestors, captured in a you know beautiful artistic form.
Yeah,
So like that,
definitely.
yeah, that really struck me. it's a good answer as to why are these things so moving? Why are these things so captivating? It's because they carry power in them. They may seem they may be set up in like silly worlds or fantasy kind of setting, but man, they pack a punch.
Definitely, yeah. Anime is like the modern version of the ancient myths, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. And it's much more impactful than those myths because we have great animation now, we have great scoring, great soundtracks, and great music tends to amplify emotion. Great art amplifies emotion. So I think anime is like a great culmination of that.
Right. Right. Yeah. So coming back from that tangent to the actual episode again.
Yeah.
So Chise finally has a familiar animal now.
Yeah.
So
That was cool. They tied that thread well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. So.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she has a dog. Like what greater familiar animal can you have, right? It's
Dogs most loyal. Yep.
most loyal. Yeah, I found it very interesting about the guy Cartaphilius though. Like even though he lives forever,
Yeah.
he's suffering, right? Like he's trying to like
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I mean, we can go on and on about the allusions to like, about life as suffering is like the maxim of all Buddhists,
Right.
dukkha, right, suffering.
Right.
Yeah, and so like the whole Buddhist thing is to escape dukkha, right, escape suffering,
Yeah.
which is just a cycle of, they call it like reincarnation, cycle of life and death, is constantly being born into the world, constantly experiencing suffering. And I think like I was reading that suffering perhaps may not be the best description. It sounds like very like pessimistic, it's like Buddha's like life is suffering,
Right.
but I think that apparently some people say that dukkha could better be translated as like it's unsatisfying. So
Okay.
so life is kind of unsatisfying.
Okay.
So like you can never completely satisfy yourself. And that tends to lead to, suffering.
Yeah. It seems like that translation is more apt to describe Cartaphilius, actually, because I wouldn't say that he's really suffering.
Exactly.
They describe him as more or less like bored, right?
Yeah, bored. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like he's a nice. He's a very nice symbol of that.
Yeah.
Someone who's trying to escape reincarnation, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't. He literally, he's not even. He just lives forever.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He's trying to escape that circle of life and death. Is literally what he's trying to do. But he was cursed by the Son of God. I love that.
Yeah. A lot of references.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Yeah. He's an interesting character, man. I think hopefully we learn more about him.
Yeah, I hope so
We still
too.
haven't really learned much about him. I don't know what he's a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Is he a human? Like what is he? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, he can definitely like regenerate in weird ways.
Yeah.
Right?
Was he once a human?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Is he a being like Elias, like some sort of mix?
Yeah. Although it seemed like they had some connection with Elias, like it seemed like maybe they knew each other at some point.
Yeah,
so
it seems like it. He definitely knew his name.
Yeah. But he seems much more ancient than Elias, though, because at the end he's like, oh, you're just like a boy or something.
Yeah.
And we know that Elias is like several hundred years old, so
Yeah.
So this guy must be like
Yeah.
over 1,000.
Exactly. Yeah. I think another interesting thing is that he doesn't actually seem. He's not evil. Like he's not.
Yeah.
He's not malevolent, right? He's not. I don't think he's trying to cause suffering, but he looks like he's just trying to rid himself of boredom. It's like satisfy his curiosity and like try.
Different things.
Yeah, try different things and try experiments. I don't think he's like. At least it doesn't seem like that. From this episode, at least, it doesn't seem like he's purposely trying to cause pain. He's just trying. He has like no moral. He has no moral system at all.
Right. Exactly. Amoral, right?
Yeah, he's like an amoral scientist. Like he has no literally no code of ethics whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I hope we
Yeah,
find out more about him.
yeah. It feels like he can't. The other thing is he can't. He seems like he can't. He's like almost a sociopath. He can't empathize with people,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like he. I don't know, like, at least when we saw in the cat story and stuff, he clearly saw like the kind of suffering he was causing these people, but it just didn't bother him. He just didn't even think about it.
Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't value
Seems very
life, dude.
sociopathic. Yeah.
Especially human life. He's like humans are like a dime a dozen.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah. It's just. I guess he just sees again. He sees humans as data points, like we said before.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe he's lived so long. He's lived so
Yeah.
long, and he's seen generations of humans pass, come and go. Like he's
Right.
removed. He sees like he's become this almost like an absolute being. So like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he looks down on everyone else.
One would hope that like absolute beings would be a little more
Yeah,
uh more less malevolent, I guess.
yeah. I guess I don't know. I guess maybe perhaps since he's lived so long, he's just kind of detached from the whole thing. Maybe
Yeah.
death doesn't even mean anything to him anymore. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
It's like when he
maybe.
sees someone else suffering or someone dying, it's just
Yeah.
he's like he has no idea what it's like because he
Yeah.
just doesn't understand it because he doesn't have that fear of death that they do.
Right, right. And he has probably seen it so many times, it's just like an everyday event, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. He's become numb,
Numb to
numb
it.
to reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
All sorts of interesting, I think, questions there about what if you could live forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Would it make you perhaps you would stop valuing life as much as you would otherwise? It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's see if the next episode answers some of these questions, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so episode 9, Alan, you want to do the honors?
Sure. Let's do it. So, none so deaf as those who will not hear. Again, I love the biblical reference.
Absolutely, yeah.
With church requests fulfilled, things were supposed to go back to normal. But Elias has been acting strange since the last request. He'd vanished on the first morning after Chise had spent the night in his room. Neither Angelica's kind words nor Ruth's pure words are enough to put Chise's mind to rest.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. So I guess we're going back to that his history with the church, right?
Yeah,
Maybe we'll find out some more there.
yeah. I think I like where this episode is going. It looks like it doesn't involve any, other characters, but we're going to start digging a little bit deeper into the relationship between Chise and Elias. This should be good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's get started, man.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, we just finished episode 9 of the Ancient Magus Bride. None so deaf as those who will not hear.
Yep. Again, great title.
Yeah, I like where this episode took us because we went back to more of the drama aspect of the series, like a little bit more subtle and more focused on the relationships between the characters versus the past 2 or 3 episodes where we had like it's been pretty action packed. So
Yeah.
it's nice to bring it back.
More Mushishi style, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I guess we still don't know a lot of things about Elias.
yeah. And
I-
he's hesitant to reveal more about himself.
Yeah. And I think what you were saying is in earlier episodes that he might not have complete control when he transforms. It seems that's partially true, right?
Yeah, yeah. It seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least he's able to maintain his reason, but
Yeah.
he's not able to control his transformation or his body, his physical side so much.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of unanswered questions about that. But it's interesting seeing how Chise is much more interested in him now, in his backstory and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a bunch of small, little dialogue here that was pretty good. I think the first interesting thing to me, I think they're trying to foreshadow or hint at something, is when Angelica, Angelica and Chise are walking back, and then she tells her like, you don't need to be
Yeah.
so over dependent or something.
Right.
And like Chise loses her calm. Like it's one of the
Yeah.
few cases where she loses her calm.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things. Very interesting dialogue there, actually.
Yeah, she like flipped out like for a
Yeah.
second there.
Yeah. Which is very out of character for her.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's something in her past.
Yeah.
About dependence. It looks like no one really wanted her, right? And I mean, there's that quick cut which I really liked is where she's dreaming, right?
Yeah.
And she sees Elias. It's weird because it's Elias that's like looking down at her, but then she hears like
Her
her
mom,
mother,
right?
right?
Yeah. Yeah. We still don't know a lot of things about Chise either, actually.
Yeah, we don't know
So
much about either of them.
yeah.
I'd like to dig deeper into like what Angelica and her were talking about. Like, she's literally warning her not to be too
Too
dependent on
dependent.
Elias, and she
Yeah.
even says like he bought you. Like he
Yeah. Yeah.
like she says
That's
that,
true.
right?
That's true. Yeah. It's easy to forget, I guess, the past episodes that that she is actually his property in a way.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Because I mean, he's definitely a good guy and all of those things, but man, Angelica's blunt, huh?
it's very blunt. Yeah.
I don't know, because like after she like freaks out for a second,
She calms down right away.
she calms down. She says, "Yeah, I know. Like I know what you're saying is true."
Yeah. Yeah, but there's some emotional baggage that
There's
she
something
has.
going
Like,
on there, yeah.
yeah.
Something important there.
Yeah.
We don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet, though.
Right. Another interesting interesting part of this episode was when she met that guy, that writer
Oh, yeah.
in the garden, right?
That was really interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like supposed to draw parallels between Chise and Elias.
Yeah, I think so. It seems like it, yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's a good parallel.
It's a good parallel.
Oh, also, the scene where Chise finds Elias just like hanging out in the pond or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing there, but
Yeah,
yeah, he was like rebalancing his body, like rebalancing his pH or something.
He looked like he was passed out, dude.
Yeah, that's true. His eyes were like,
Yeah.
we're back to Elias's classic trait of underplaying like the importance of things. He's like trying to deflect. We saw like she's like so worried about him, and he's like, no, I'm just hanging out here. Just I told you I'd be back by the evening. Like,
Yeah.
it's no big deal. But clearly it's a big deal. He's never been doing this before.
Right.
Something's going on with him. He wouldn't lock himself in a room for 2 weeks. If something wasn't going on. But he does this like underplaying, like we saw. Remember episode 3 I don't know, one of the earlier episodes. Remember they're walking back under the stars,
Yeah.
and there's that great scene, the great dialogue,
Right.
and he's like, "Yeah, I just bought you.
Yeah, he
I
tends.
was just gonna wait to tell you."
Yeah. He tends to like, I don't know, avoid the strong emotions, I guess.
Yeah, he's trying exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. He's trying to. It's like he's afraid, and remember she says like, "You don't need to
Yeah.
be so afraid." It's exactly what
yeah.
she said. He's like trying to. Yeah, I don't know. He does maybe he doesn't want her to worry about him or something, but
Yeah.
and he doesn't. It's not just that he doesn't. One, he cares for her. He doesn't want her to worry. But the second thing is, he doesn't want to. It feels like he's running away from attachment himself.
Yeah. In a way, yeah, that's
Right?
true.
It kind of feels like that. It's like he doesn't want to let himself
Become attached.
become attached, and because it's a property of being attached, like it's a property of like being intimate with someone that you become vulnerable, right? That's like a very it's like two sides of the same coin. Like you can't love someone without also being vulnerable, right? Because
Right.
you're literally exposing your attachment to them. That's like
Yeah,
you know what I
definitely.
mean? It's like a very intimate thing. So
Yeah.
I think he's not used to it. Like first of all, and maybe he's never experienced.
Maybe.
Remember, he's never had someone who's like not afraid of him in that crazy beast form.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he doesn't know what's going on here. It's like in the episode with the fairy queen. Remember?
Right.
Oberon like says something about like having kids or something.
Yeah.
And like Chise blushes and stuff, and Elias is like, I felt something weird, and like he points to like kind of like his stomach, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I felt like something weird. Like he doesn't understand that emotion. I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be like in episode 3. He's also saying like he understands emotions, human emotions, on like a rational level, but not on a deeper level than that.
Yeah. So I think he's starting to get a taste of it.
He's starting to get a taste of it, and maybe he's scared of it. He's
scared of it. Yeah. That's what it seems like to me. Like he keeps doing that, keeps downplaying everything.
Yeah.
But you could tell maybe he's going to change because he says, hold your questions. I just want to gather my thoughts.
Right.
That's probably the first time that he ever admitted to his mind, like he's undergoing something right now. It's not like everything's cool or something.
Right.
I think that's the first sign. Yeah. The first sign of him starting to like break down his walls.
Yeah. He's definitely a very interesting character, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we can talk so much about the both of them, and we still don't know like 90% of their past.
Right.
So it's going to be fascinating to see all the puzzle pieces as they're revealed.
Yeah. I hope they reveal more in the next episodes.
Yeah, I don't know how long this is going to run, too.
Yeah, that's my question, too. Yeah, I don't want...
1 season or 2 seasons?
Yeah. I don't want them to leave on like a really, really bad cliffhanger,
Yeah.
But yeah, we should look it up, actually.
Yeah, I mean, 9... Okay, so 10, 11, 12. Just 3 more episodes if it's just this season.
Yeah.
So that's going to be... I don't know how many questions you can answer.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more questions raised than answers, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how it is. That's how it is.
I know some go a little bit longer though. I think sometimes they do a continuation to the next season, but it's rare. It tends to be more rare.
Right.
They like running a season, right, and then seeing how well it does and making a decision on where to do the second one.
I mean, I hope it goes to the second one. I mean,
it better.
It better, yeah. It seems to be doing really well on Crunchyroll, so...
Yeah, it is, yeah. Man, okay, so again, it's the same story again. More questions raised than answered.
Yeah.
But hell, we keep coming back to it because it's a great show.
Definitely. Can't wait for next week.
Yep.
Okay, I guess we can wrap it up there then.
Yeah. That's the end of this double stuffed episode.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave your comments on down below.
Please leave your comments. Again, if you enjoy listening to what we talk about, enjoy listening to us, dissecting your favorite anime, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. And as Alan said, leave your questions, leave your comments, because we want to hear what you think. We're always talking about stuff, but we want to hear what you think, because that's how we get new ideas. So please leave your comments. Usually we have like a discussion question that we talk about, so we'll post that too. If you have any thoughts on that, that would be great. We'd love to hear what you think.
Thanks for being with us again, guys. Until next time,
stay inspired.